Hey, I'm John Cena. Smash the like button if you remember the brutal chair shots that The Rock gave to Mankind.
I think that Adam Page is the Drew Mack of all elite fake pro wrestling. He is the good guy in this feud between him and Swerve Scott. Everything he does has made sense. Every bad thing he's done to Swerve Scott has made sense. It's like, what's up with the fake outrage? Right? You see, when I outrage over all elite fake pro wrestling, it's always justified. I don't want to fit in. I want to stand on my own. I focus on what bothers me. I don't care about clout. I don't care about clicks, likes, views. I talk about what bothers me. And there's people that hated the Swerve Scott match, and they did not like the angle between Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose with the plastic bag. Now, let's talk about Swerve Scott and Adam Hangman Page. I said in my last video, that was a great fucking match. And these fake, all elite fake pro wrestling haters, it's like, listen, that's called fake outrage. You just want to hate just to hate. You just want to hate just to fit in with the anti-smarts. That's what it is. You just want to hate because it's cool, right? It's cool to hate on all elite fake pro wrestling. I don't care about that. And here's why. I am very objective. Yes, I do hate on all elite fake pro wrestling every week, but I'm justified. Sometimes I put them over. Sometimes I don't. But I'm always justified. People always see my viewpoint. Now, people are trying to say, oh man, why'd they do that with the cinder block, with the syringe, with the chair shot? That wasn't wrestling. Duh. Nigga, this was a blood feud. You see, people complain about shit, and then when Con Man gives it to them, they say, oh man, that was horrible. Like, bruh, you've been begging for blood feuds of all elite wrestling for years. They have one, and you still want to complain. That's called fake outrage. You see, it's like a child. It's like a dog, where this dog wants the goddamn toy so bad, but once the dog gets the damn toy, he don't care about it. That's you. You are a fucking dog. You are a fucking kid, right? Oh, you want the shiny new toy, but once you get the shiny new toy, you don't care about it. That's you. I love this feud, and I loved this match. Now, I was not a big fan of the needle spot. I felt like that was too much, but I get it. This match was shock value, but this was a blood feud. If it's a blood feud, I don't care what you do to each other. It's a blood feud for a reason. Now, let's talk about Rocky Maivia and Mankind, you dumb bitch. Nigga, Rocky Maivia gave him damn near 20 fucking headshots. 20-something headshots. I'm not hearing anything about that. Fucking Adam Page gave this man one chair shot. That same headshot that Adam Page gave to Swerve Scott, Mankind, he received damn near 20-something of those chair shots from Rocky Maivia. So, what the fuck is your problem? See, you want to cherry pick when it's convenient for you. You don't want to cherry pick the facts, right? You don't want to cherry pick the facts. That's facts. My God, Mankind was never the same off those chair shots. Those are real. This match, it made sense, right? You always say, oh, this company, they always bleed. Well, this match called for it. If it's a blood feud, that means it needs blood. Now, I complain about why is Daniel Bryan bleeding in a Owen Hart tournament? That's what I complain about. Logical problems. Logical shit that just don't make sense. That's what I complain about. Dumb shit. That just don't add up. The more you bleed, the more people become numb to it. I love blood, right? I love blood in fake pro wrestling. Only when it makes sense. And it's a blood feud that will further a storyline. If it's a fucking one-off, a damn tournament, nigga, why are you bleeding? That's what I complain about. This match between Swerve Scott and Adam Page. Okay, how would you feel if somebody burned down your fucking house, you clowns? Wrestling is a movie about a sport. It has to blur the lines between reality and fiction. So yes, this match makes sense. Because in reality, if somebody burns your house, what are you going to do about it? Okay, Swerve Scott, His house got burned down. How should he react? What match were you expecting? Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit? What match were you expecting? This match was going to be brutal, bloody. This match was going to be over the top. These guys hate each other. We know why these guys are fighting. That's the best part about it. At least we know why these guys are fighting. Like I said, a broken clock is right once in a while. Conman got this feud right. And I love the plastic bag spot. Because listen, you are not going to boo Dean Ambrose. He needs to make a statement. He needs to make a statement by saying, look here, man, don't cheer me. I'm not a cool heel. I'm a bad heel. You gotta boo me. Just like Rocky Maivia this year. He had to go down that route, right? He had to make Cody Rhodes bleed. He had to talk shit about Cody Rhodes' mom to make sure the crowd was not going to cheer him. He had to go all in, right? Because people love Hollywood Rocky Maivia. So he had to make people boo him. That's why I liked how fucking Dean Ambrose brought the plastic bag into this equation. That was attempted murder, and I like it because Dean Ambrose is the most popular guy on the roster. Let's speak facts. Now, I ain't no fan of Dean Ambrose, but when it comes to the fans of All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, they love Dean Ambrose. It don't matter if he's a heel or a bad guy, but that's a bad thing. If he's trying to get over, if he's trying to change his character by trying to be a heel, he needs real heat. He needs to make a statement. That statement was, I gotta turn on my best friend. I gotta turn on Daniel Bryan. Now, who cares, man? Fuck! Who cares? Okay? Who cares if he turned on Daniel Bryan? This is fake, bro. This is fake pro wrestling. Turns happen all the time, man. Okay, why didn't you complain about Sami Zayn leaving the bloodline? Why didn't you complain about Jey Uso leaving the bloodline? Factions, they break up all the time. What's the big fucking deal? I'm like, you act like the BBC are like the guys that are the biggest draws on the show. You act like the BBC is the MVP of the show. Nobody cares about the fucking BBC. Ever since William Regal left this group, nobody cares about the BBC. This gives them a spark because nobody cared about this group. Nobody cared about the friendship between fucking Bryan and fucking Moxley. Nobody cared. Now we care. That fucking plastic bag, that was a statement. Dean Ambrose does not like Daniel Bryan. That is proof from the fucking plastic bag. He tried to kill that man, but that's heat. Now the crowd is going to boo him. Now there's no reason to cheer him. And first off, the BBC is not broken up, okay? How? Just because you kick out fucking Daniel Bryan, that don't mean the group is broken up. Maybe the group has evolved. Maybe this will be a new version of the BBC. That's all. They kicked out Daniel Bryan. That means the group is still intact. Last time I checked, Pac-Man and Cesaro, they did not turn on fucking Dean Ambrose. No, they joined him. So how is this a breakup? No, they kicked him out. Last time I checked, they did not kick out Wheeler useless. He's at a crossroads. We don't know where he stands. So overall, the BBC seems stronger than ever. They got new members and they turned on Daniel Bryan. So this group is now refreshed. It's like you just want to complain about All Elite Wrestling because it's cool and it gets you clicks. That's what I noticed because I had no issue with Dean Ambrose turning on Daniel Bryan. It makes sense. He is now a world champion. Maybe Dean Ambrose wants to beat him, dummy. Maybe Dean Ambrose is jealous. Maybe he wants to beat him for that world title. It makes fucking sense. How is this a problem? Nigga, the BBC are not draws, okay? Nobody cares if they break up or if they don't break up. They are not the backbone of this show. And like I said, Daniel Bryan, his run in All Elite Wrestling has been very underwhelming. Don't get it twisted. I stay very consistent. This might be the biggest thing he has ever been a part of. His new feud with Dean Ambrose. That's what I'm saying. But to get back to fucking Swerve Scott and Adam Hangman Page. First off, if somebody burns down your house, if somebody breaks into your home and walks into your child's bedroom, what are you going to do? How would you react if you had a fight with that person? You are going to do anything in your power to beat the shit out of that person. You fucking clowns. It's like, man, maybe you clowns don't got wives, girlfriends, kids of your own. Or maybe you don't have your own place, right? Possibly. Listen, if somebody burns down my house, you a dead man. I'm sorry. You will not be alive anymore. I'm sorry. If you burn down my house, nigga, you are a dead man. That was the mindset of Swerve Scott. He wanted to take out Adam Page, but in a wrestling format. Like I said, this is a movie about a sport. Everything has to blur the lines between reality and fiction. This match made sense from a wrestling perspective. Fucking Swerve Scott, he broke into Adam Page's house and he walked into his child's bedroom, man. Like, what do you want to do? What do you want him to do? How should Adam Page react? That same man was cheered by the fans. See, this is called storytelling. Okay, why would you cheer Swerve Scott for what he did to Adam Page? He broke into his fucking house. He's been fucking stalking him. And he walked into his child's bedroom. Yes, those are fighting words, man. My whole entire point is everything that Swerve Scott has done to Page and vice versa has been justified. But I'm on team Adam Page. How is Adam Page the bad guy here? I'm sorry, Adam Page is not the bad guy. How? Nigga, you broke into my house and you walked into my child's bedroom, right? What was your intentions on doing that? What? And Swerve Scott has admitted he has been stalking Adam Page and his wife. So, bro, he stalked him. He said that he watched Adam Page bring his pregnant wife to the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck is what the fuck is this, man? Like, why are you stalking me? Bro, I hate stalkers. Bro, I block stalkers. I don't like people who become very, very obsessive. I hate stalkers. That's what Swerve Scott was. He was a fucking stalker. But that same man became world champion? You gonna cheer a man that was stalking me? He was stalking my child and me and my wife. And he broke into my house and he walked into my child's bedroom, bruh. My infant child's bedroom. Yes, Adam Page is justified. How was he the bad guy here? This is like Drew Mack and CM Junk. How is Drew Mack the bad guy? I think that Adam Page is the Drew Mack of this feud. And I think that Swerve Scott is the CM Junk of this feud. Why are you cheering Swerve Scott? Like, why? He is the bad guy here. I think that Adam Page burning down his house, that was justified, bitch, okay? That was justified. That was a great spot. Now, I heard some dumbass say, oh, they stole that spot from Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nigga, this is fake pro wrestling. We all steal ideas. The World Wrestling Federation, they stole ideas from WCW and vice versa. Every company steals ideas. Nobody is original, okay? Everybody steals ideas. TNA stole multiple ideas for the World Wrestling Federation and vice versa. The World Wrestling Federation has stolen tons of ideas from ECW. Remember the Hardcore Championship? Let's talk about WCW. Fun fact, they also made their own Hardcore Championship. This has been going on before you was born. What is your age, kid? What, 15, 16? Well, the Hardcore Championship was made in the late 90s, which means, yes, that was made before you was born. Which means that WCW, they took that idea from Vince McMahon and vice versa. Everybody steals ideas from other companies, but they would never admit it. So what is the big deal that Adam Page burned down Swerve Scott's house? You want to say, oh, they stole the idea from Bray Wyatt. I'm like, so who cares? Who cares? Like, you people don't know the meaning of blood feuds. Let's talk about Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. Do you remember what that man did to his ear? That's called a blood feud. That's how that works. So, this All Out pay-per-view, I called it a blood feud pay-per-view. Everybody's blood feud got settled. But listen, if it's a blood feud, it needs blood. That's what I said about Drew Mack and CM Punk. Those guys, they need blood. All right? That's my point. Like I said, I don't hate blood. I love blood. It's just blood should only happen when it's a heated blood feud so people can feel the blood. So people can feel the emotions of the blood in the goddamn match. Don't just bleed, just the fucking bleed. I hate that. Right? Listen, I love XPW. I love ECW. They did blood right. That's my point. But this will go down as the greatest feud in all Elite Wrestling history. Adam Page versus Swerve Scott. This is a great feud that will save this company. Now, everybody's talking about this match. This was a great steel cage match that made sense. Like, everything they did to each other, it made sense because, bruh, you burned down my house, but Swerve Scott broke into his man's house. Okay, he broke into this man's house and he stalked his child. So yes, bitch, this is a great heated feud that it just made sense for all the stunts they were doing. But like I said, if you want to see what a real blood feud looks like, go back to Mankind versus Rocky Maivia. Like, honestly, this feud compares to Rocky Maivia versus Mankind. This is a very similar feud. This is not Triple H versus Rocky Maivia. No, this is Rocky Maivia versus Mankind. That was a very underrated feud. It's like, listen, this channel is very different. I speak from an objective standpoint. It's like people want me to co-sign what they say in terms of people thought I was going to hate on the Swerve Scott match and Adam Page match. People thought I was going to hate on this pay-per-view because that is the anti-smart narrative, right? You gotta hate on everything. You can't give things a chance. Nah, bitch, I am very objective. I gave the show a 7.5 out of 10. It would have been 8, but the show is too goddamn long. Okay, it was 4 hours, bro. 4 hours. That was my only complaint. The show was fucking 4 hours. But overall, it was a very good show. Possibly the best show of the year for all Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Why? They had matches that made sense from a storyline perspective, right? Let's talk about super thick Chris Asslander versus super thick Willow Nightingale. They used to be best friends. They used to be best fucking friends. So it made sense for them to have a hardcore match. That will be their last match. So they had to go out with a fucking bang. That was a good match. That made sense. Those girls don't like each other. So it made sense for that match to be violent. It was a blood match, a blood feud. If it's a blood feud, you gotta shut the fuck up, okay? That's the only time you gotta keep your mouth shut. If it's a blood feud, I don't care what you do to one another. This match was great. Adam Page versus Swerve Scott. That was a great match. That match was very similar to Mankind versus Rocky Maivia in their I Quit match. Very similar. And I'm glad that this was not a wrestling match. This was a beatdown. This was a brawl. It makes sense. I'm like, bruh, if you burn down my house, this is not going to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Okay? If you burn down my house, this is not going to be Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho. Okay? This is going to be a brawl, not a masterpiece. This will be a fight, a brawl. Like I said, people just want to fake outrage because it gives them clicks and it makes them feel smart. Everybody wants to be a smart fan. But I'm like, bro, it was worse in the late 90s with ECW. It was worse with XPW. They were doing way crazier over the top shit. This is baby shit. This is a cosplay ECW, but this was still nice. I think this is the best thing that Con Man has ever done with a feud, because I feel the heat. I feel the animosity, the heat between Adam Page and Swerve Scott.